right, Nation on X. Marathon launches in 3 days. Will you buy it after final impressions in the playtest? And I've been talking to a lot of my associates on the interwebs after playing through the Marathon server slam weekend. And the consistent takeaway that I and everyone else had from it was we went into it with an open mind. We genuinely tried, and we came away from it with it was overcomplicated mess of, yes, it's a, I guess, competent extraction shooter, but it did not meet the needs of my expectations of fun. And the menu system and navigation was overcomplicated beyond any kind of rational human being when it comes to playing a video game. And eventually, I'm sure if you play through it enough, you'll learn everything and it will all make perfect sense. And once you get it, it will click after hours upon hours being sunk into it. And I walked away from it saying, this is not a game that I would want to sink the time into. That's the main takeaway and the problem that I have with it. And I'm not alone with that. Grum says, Marathon Server Slam is over. It's not toxic gamers spreading hate. If that were true, you would not have seen over 100,000 concurrent as everyone tried this game. They just didn't come back. They didn't just believe the hate. They played and rejected it on their own. It's not a bad game. It's just not exceptional. People have this mistaken belief that success is a smooth spectrum, but it's not. The top 10 games take the lion's share of revenue. Everyone else gets scraps. It's a cliff. For an indie game, that's fine. But for a AAA, that's a big problem. Being mid has never been enough to win. And that was my takeaway as well. It wasn't like a terrible game. It was just not good enough for me to want to play it more. And the biggest takeaway, I was talking to Kata and Atreus on New Black Street when I was a guest on that the other day. And Kata even said, after he played it for a few hours, he was like, okay, I tried it. I gave it the best shot I could. And as soon as I was done with it, I uninstalled it, never to go back to it again. And that's my same feeling as well. I have zero interest or intention to ever return to this game, ever. That spells doom for a company that needs people to play this game. And this was, remember, a free-to-play weekend, something that should increase as time goes on if the game is really sucking people into it. It did the exact opposite of that. Marathon Media says, did the Marathon playtest make you hit the pre-order button? Yes or no, and why? The Gaming Prophet NYC. Hard no. Fake Wizard. Marathon is artistically intriguing in the same way you go to a modern art museum and don't understand anything the artist was trying to say. But that's not your fault. The artist is a smug dipshit. Very well said. Victus Therix. Steam numbers aren't all numbers. Globally ranked 26th best-selling on PlayStation Store. It's even worse on consoles, which is pretty rough. Grum says, Marathon already has cheaters. This is a game that installs at kernel level on your computer, anti-cheat software. Jake Lucky says, Tim the Tapman is preaching. Let's hear what Tim has to say about this, because this is just like burnt peanut. It's coming across like, oh, all you guys do is just hate games. Let's hear him.
We are quite literally right now playing a free version of the game, and in less than a day, everyone says this is Highguard 2.0. Like, the game hasn't even physically come out yet. It physically isn't even here yet. And everyone's saying it's cooked. Like, it's over or whatever.
I mean, if I didn't play the game, I would be inclined to hear him out and be like, yeah, maybe people are just hating on this game just to hate on it because it's trendy to hate it. I'm like, if people play the game and like it, they will cling to it. It will draw them into it. That didn't happen with this. That should scare the absolute shit out of Bungie, that didn't happen. Don't blame the gamers for playing the game and coming away from it saying, yeah, no, it was competent, but I'm good with playing other games. I'm good.
And people can think that. They can say what they want. But at the end of the day, I think people that enjoy Marathon should play Marathon. And I think people that enjoy Arc Raiders should play Arc Raiders. I think people that play Marvel should play Marvel. I think people that enjoy Overwatch should play Overwatch. You know what I'm saying? Like, play what you like, man. It doesn't matter. And don't listen to the internet in the sense of, like, imagine thinking like, oh, I'm going to play Marathon, but everyone hates the game. I shouldn't. But I like playing it. Just play the fucking game, bro.
I mean, yeah, based. I agree. I don't think that's like a crazy, insane thing to say. Yes, play the game you want to play. Like I said, I went into playing Marathon with an open mind. As much as I had concerns going into it, I'm like, okay, here's where rubber hits the road. Does it actually perform the way it should to surprise me? And no, it didn't. Jay Viper, with the Marathon Server Slam scheduled to wrap up later today, it is official that the event saw less people each consecutive day. The largest fall was after day one, a Thursday. That actually speaks volumes for how concerning that really is. Marathon saw a huge amount of viewers on Saturday, over 300,000 on Twitch, accompanied by the ad hashtag on most of the large channels playing it. On Sunday, these same channels largely played other things, and we saw a peak of around 40K of viewers for Marathon, which that should tell you enough in its own right. They were getting paid to play the game on Saturday, and then the following day they play something else when they weren't getting paid. Yeah, yikes. That's not a great look. This is overall from the Server Slam weekend. Total picture of it. Peaked at 143,000 and fell at the end towards 25,000. And nobody that I saw coming out of it were excited about it, except for people like this guy, Asmo. Steam numbers are also not the only numbers. The game is not the so-called Concord 2 or 3 or whatever. To which Jay Viper says, God, I love this level of cope. The Steam numbers aren't the only numbers. Cool. Marathon is the 26th top seller on the PSN. It didn't crack the first page. I'm sure Xbox will make up for it, though, bud. Jay Viper said, reminder, even Dragon Age the Veilguard got into the top spot on PSN 4 days before it released. It also cracked the top 5 on Steam. Marathon is in 26th place on the PSN top seller list. I'm telling you, that speaks volumes for where this is at right now. This is the live look of the game. You cannot play it anymore. So there's 171 people that have the game for whatever reason loaded up on Steam, but the servers are down, like you can't play it anymore, which is weird. They must be like just hanging out in the menus area and listening to the music or something. But the 24-hour peak topped out at 46,000, but it was right around towards the end, between 20 and 25,000 people playing it concurrently. And when you have a free weekend and on a Thursday it tops out and subsequently lower and lower and lower, that does not spell good news for the future of this game. And you know what is the biggest giveaway for bad news for the future of this? PC Gamer. The Marathon Server Slam consumed my weekend. 21 hours later, I've gone from meh to believer. And you know, when I saw this article, the first thing I thought was, that headline, don't even tell me it is. It's Morgan Park. The same Morgan Park where I said, add it to the Morgan Park trash take pile. Marathon Server Slam consumed my weekend. I've gone from meh to believer. All right, Bungie, I'm in. I quote tweeted, added to the Morgan Park trash take pile. High guard is fine when you don't have an internet in your ear telling you it's nasty. Which was quote tweeting the same Morgan Park. I played 6 hours of Assassin's Creed Shadows. And folks, I think this one was worth the wait. I played 7 hours of Concord this weekend and immediately want back in. After 5 hours of exploring the galaxy and ghosting past stormtroopers, Star Wars Outlaws is finally winning me over. 8 hours in, Suicide Squad doesn't seem like the disaster some are waiting for. This guy can't even be real. He can't be real. This has got to be AI. There ain't no way. A very AFK says, Marathon is number 2 in sales and rising, hopefully tracking to a successful launch. I really want a game that feels like Destiny without all the nonsense. My goodness, bro. The cope. This is, wow. Out of 2 games releasing, Marathon is second. Marathon Bolton. Marathon UI UX designer Elliot Gray on the game's UI and font slop discourse. Quote, all jokes aside, there's plenty of work we can do and will do as a team to respond to player feedback about inventory management, navigation, density of info, etc. But don't think for a second that we're going to remove the sauce from the UI. Hashtag font slop takeover. Most of the complaints and comments that I saw from people were the font slop that was annoying them. And the colors were abrasive to the eyes and making them want to puke. And the menus were insanely impossible to try to figure out and navigate. Like, you even had like professional gamers. Ninja was flipping through the menus being like, bro, are they serious with this? Like, it was insane. And this is the same type of developer that Highguard was just like, we know what's good for you, gamer. Just, we're going to feed you the slop. You deal with it. Which I think we already know the fallout from that situation, because these are the sum of the menus. Some. Madam Savvy, I'm pre-blocked by the virtual signaling retard who has to justify his job. Elliot Gray. Hold on. Now I need to check. She's pre-blocked. Am I pre-blocked? I don't even know who this guy is. Elliot Gray. Elliot and 2 T's. Why would you spell your name like that? Let's see. Dexter, it's all so tiring. It's all so tiring. Oh God. Anyways, I'm pre-blocked by the virtue signaling retard who has to justify his job. The issue is he will experience is people are expected to pay for his sauce. And if the sauce is vile and unappealing, no one will show up. Like, here's at the end of the day, I am not your enemy, bro. I am here to inform you of what people want. You can block me and call me a hater, a bigot, a horrible person, whatever gets you to sleep at night. I'd like to think I might not use the best words or find the smoothest road to get there, but I'm, in a weird way, here to help. I think we are all gamers at the end of the day, and we want to find Valhalla just as much as you do, brother. But this ain't it, all right? Pre-blocking people who are critical of your game and then telling people how you are not going to change the things that they want changed ain't it. I don't know what else to say. It is one thing to ride the back of Bungie's name, which he doesn't deserve, nor does anyone at the company currently, it seems. And when it comes to time for an audience, what then? Tone it down. Sometimes less is more. Or don't and stand by your work, but do not dare complain when people keep saying they do not like it, or worse, do not even show up. Everything can be made. Not everything deserves praise. So do not have unrealistic expectations. Holy shnikes. Tebow's blocked by him too? Oh my God. Like, this guy, did he just go down the list of people that dared to comment on this game and just block them? If I wasn't convinced before, just based off of this, that Marathon was going to fail, then all you need to do is look at this and say, this dude, a developer on the game, does not care about the feedback from the player base. Why are you like this? Why are you the way you are? Why do they keep doing this? It's so strange. We do not owe you money, my guy. This is like the communistic mindset. They go into it and just feel like they made something. People owe them money. It's like, no, you need to make something that deserves money, that people will willingly open their wallet for and be excited about. Look at Expedition 33, where it started off fairly small, and it was like a snowball that just kept growing bigger and bigger and bigger. People couldn't stop talking about how amazing the experience was. I was like going off the rails with how excited I was about the game, begging people to play it. I streamed it and was like, this game's amazing. I played Marathon and I was like, this is shit. I don't know what to tell you, bro. I'm sorry. It's just not it. And instead of listening and being like, all right, I hear your feedback. We're going to work with the community to try to make this better. You do this shit to everyone? Nah, it's done. Marathon is over. Time of death, like whatever this is, before the game even launches. It's over. It's over. Like whatever hope people had for it going into it, it's done. I would argue, and I'll leave it at this. I would argue the Server Slam weekend was actually a net negative for the game's potential future success. Because at least if you just drop the game on a launch day, you would have people curiously investing money into it to buy it and play it. And sure, you'd have plenty of returns. But you also have the people that would play it for 2 or 3 or 4 hours and be like pot committed to the game. All right. And then never touch it again after that. But what you just did with the free Server Slam weekend is gave people that taste and been like, yeah, now I know I'm not going to buy this game. So you won't even get the strugglers that wouldn't return it. And the people that did buy it and pre-order it are proactively returning it because they played it and didn't like it. This game is done. It's cooked. It's toast. It's over. If this does any kind of numbers or success, I will eat my words. But I am not going to hold my breath on that, especially based off of everything that we've seen going into it. Nev G for the 5-banger. I shared a post with you on X that stated they allegedly have to sell 7 to 11 million units to break even. Carrie Golam going over the numbers for Marathon, wishlist data, pre-order charts, Server Slam CCU data. I'm currently thinking Steam will have around 40,000 CCU on launch, concurrent, 100,000 sold. 6-year production burn at 200 to 300 million. They need to sell 7 to 11 million copies to break even. It's so over, bro. It looks bleak for Bungie. They won't even sell 1 million. I will go on the record and say they won't even sell 1 million. 7 to 11 million copies. That is over. Holy shit. Holy shit. That is bad. That is bad. Again, I'll go back to if they did not have the Server Slam weekend, they probably would sell over 1 million, and it probably wouldn't be that big of an issue. They'd probably get there. It would still falter and fail, but the Server Slam, there's so many people across the board that I talked to that uninstalled a free game over the weekend because after playing it for 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 hours, they were like, yeah, I'm done. I understand what the game is and I don't want to play it anymore. And it was free. So how are people going to be spending $40 on it if nothing's going to change? It's not looking good. Yikes. 7 million to break even is, and that's on the low end. That is insane. Wow. I did not know that. Shout out to you, man. Thank you for the heads up on this. Holy. Bungie is cooked. You remember, by the way, it was over the summer. I was traveling when I saw the article when Sony announced that they were going to bring Bungie into Sony proper and combine Bungie with Sony. I think even back then, Sony knew that this game was cooked. They even knew. Like, they probably ran the numbers and they're like, and this is before the stealing scandal. This is before all this shit going down with it. This is before the Server Slam weekend. And back then, Sony was like, we're going to be absorbing Bungie and basically removing their brand from our company. After paying, what, $3.2 billion for it? They're just going to absorb it and get rid of Bungie. I think they even knew back then it was over. Yikes. Yikes, yikes, yikes. This is going to be a major story in 2026. And I don't think we even have to wait too long for it. Like when the ultimate downfall of Bungie happens. And it's going to be because of this game. Everything is riding on this. And we already know where it's going. They already know where it's going too. But the thing with the game industry is they want to lie to themselves and live off of hope. There's a lot of hopium. You never know. Maybe it will click with people. No, it won't, bro. It won't. We already know. It's done. It's done. Sorry. But thank you again, Nevji. Appreciate you, man.